Many of the extraordinary designs you'll see will be on the high street very, very soon. Which, though, is the most expensive shopping street in Europe? Simon, rather surprisingly, has the answer.
Yeah, I'm sure you know. You're well known on New Bond Street in
Right.
London, or are you more of a Primark girl?
Sale, charity shop normally.
Don't believe it for a minute. No, New Bond Street is the most expensive location. That's based on the rents that each place is able to charge retailers for setting up shop. Now, the world crown, or tiara if you like, is still held by Fifth Avenue in New York. On average, rents there are approaching an incredible 1,200 quid a square foot each year. Now, for some time, Paris's Champs-Élysées has been the most expensive retail location in Europe. Rents there, though, pale in comparison to New York, with an average rent of just over £500 per square foot. But now, New Bond Street in London has toppled Paris. Average rents there are up almost 20% from last year, and for prime location, rents can hit a whopping £925 per square foot. Well, joining me now is Mark Burlton from Cushman Wakefield, who put this study together. Morning, Mark.
Morning.
First of all, how on earth, given the fact that consumers are meant to be tightening their belts, have they managed to jack up the rents 20% in the last year? I thought we had a crisis in consumer confidence.
I think there is certainly been a malaise over the last couple of years or so, but it hasn't really been borne out in London. We've had a huge influx of tourists taking advantage of the weak pound, tourists from Europe, tourists from Asia, and where there is consumer confidence and demand, then the retailers will follow, and they're prepared to pay the rents to be in those special locations.
Do they have to be there, these big retailers, the luxury brands, just because they have to be seen to be in those flagship locations, whether they make money there or not?
I don't think any retailer would ever willfully open a shop to lose money. They could and they should make money when they open in premium locations like New Bond Street. But there could be justifiable reasons for opening and paying a lot of money, even if it's not purely to make what they call a four-wall profit within the building. It could be to launch an internet business or something like that.
There are two types of consumers, and you can't help feeling that if you were to go outside, you know, let's say to Liverpool or Doncaster or, you know, Bristol or other places like that, the picture is different, and you've got this super rich, impregnable bubble of rich people, which is not affected like the rest of us by all the kind of things we're going to see, like cuts, austerity measures. Is that still the case? Have we got a polarisation here?
There's definitely a polarisation, and the rich will, I think, always be rich and isolated to a certain extent. Those rich locations are boosted by the influx of tourism. The picture is not so rosy if you scratch the surface and go into the second-tier cities. Yes, it's definitely much, much harder for them to make money. The Cushman Wakefield report recently showed that we're making some improvements. It's about a 10% vacancy rate outside of London, which is an improvement on previous years. So it's getting better, but there's a long way for it to go.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. The rich seem to get richer. The rest of us try and find our bargains where we can. Back to you.
Hasn't ever been thus. Thank you very much. Thanks, Simon. We've had an extraordinary